Yes, it's that time of the week again. It's the CEO of Harness Racing New South Wales blog. I suppose that means we've got to talk to the CEO. G'day, John.
How are you, Mark?
Very well, thank you. New Zealand Cup week's over. We head north to the North Island of New Zealand.
Yeah, the Inter-Dominion. I was speaking with Ricky's team yesterday, and he'll take Tough Monarch up this weekend. Have a good hit out on Alexandra Park because, of course, they race back to the front. So that's him, and we've got quite a few contenders going over. And of course, I haven't forgotten about Frizzer and his team. He's got to pull things together to get there. But with Bling It On, he'll be serving mares right up until the time he hops on that plane and heads across to New Zealand. But New South Wales has a very strong representation, and I think we've got a good chance.
His story is remarkable, Bling It On, serving mares and racing out of his skin.
Yeah, certainly. It's going to be tricky. I was talking to Luke. I think he's been doing the stud master's duties. Craig is, of course, concentrating on training the horse, but right up to the time he gets on that or heads off to the plane, he'll be serving, or they'll be collecting to serve mares. He's got a good book of mares, and of course it grew once he won the Hunter Cup.
There's one horse that deserves some luck up there. It's our Uncle Sam. Didn't like the stand starts, but the mobile's going to suit him down to the ground.
He's just settling in. Chris is there, of course. He's just settling in as well. So it's the beer's a little bit warmer. So you had to get that, get through that, but now everything will be right.
Exactly. Now, if you're watching Newcastle on Saturday night, you would have seen a track that was completely different colour.
Yeah, a bit dark. Everyone was used to that very light surface. 30 years since the track surface has been changed, but it certainly performed well, Mark. It looks as if it's retaining water, which was a problem in some respects because it was losing race meetings because it was too slushy, but there was no dust, and it looks pretty well. It'll settle in over the next couple of weeks, and it'll be fine.
And they've cambered the turns a bit more back to what they were originally, and that home straight's had a bit of a change too.
Yeah, a little bit of reshaping, and when you say originally, I'm not sure whether it was ever original, because when they got down and they removed that surface, it just didn't have quite the right shape. So anyway, we'll see how it goes, and we're heading off to probably the Newcastle Mile, the first qualifier into the Miracle Mile, so that's in February.
And Wagga, they're also going some track resurfacing? Yeah,
we had some problems at Wagga with the clay content in the track material that was there. So this week it's had a lot of work done on it. We're just trying to get a better mix to give it a little bit more gritty and to remove the clay content back to what is a reasonable or respectable level that we appreciate.
Two terrific meetings coming up at Dubbo too, with Gilgandra getting behind one and Lock-In Stud behind the other. That Red Ochre is going to be a cracking race. Yeah,
back to Gilgandra's this Sunday, and that'll be a great meeting, but the main meeting is that Red Ochre, $50,000 Group 2, open to all mares, New Zealand breds, Australian breds. Any mare can go there, and if that'll be a monster meeting the following on December 1.
Blaney Carnival Cup's held last weekend. Before we get into it, we've got a photo to show you the difference in 12 months with the lack of rain, and they're not as badly affected by drought as many other parts of the state.
No, and Blaney's one of our prettiest tracks. It's picturesque, those poplar trees in the background, always green behind, but I've got to say it's tough out there in the country, and when it was as dry as what it was at Blaney, you can just imagine what it's like further west, up in the north. There's a few patches down towards the south, but it's just really, this drought doesn't seem to want to end, and it's really impacting. So, but great day at Blaney. The boys there, the Kingham boys, Trevor, they all do a great job, and if we can revert back, Scarlet Babe won the Billy Sue Memorial. Tab Billy Sue Memorial. It will be a leading contender for that Red Ochre at Dubbo next week.
She sure will. They've turned her around. They didn't have a whole lot of luck, Scarlet Babe, the last couple of weeks, so good to see. Well, Team Hewitt's flying. Burning's just absolutely charging at the moment. Hollywood Hewitt got a couple at Blaney, yeah. And Ange Hedges won the feature race. Yeah, the Crichton Park Invitational. Very hotly contested race. The girls took the shield out this year. They outdid the boys, but Ange is always there, winner after winner, and it was good to see her to take a feature. If you're driving the winner at the moment, you're doing well, because there's about 3 or 4 drivers who are just driving out of their skin and winning everywhere. Robbie Morris, also Josh Gallagher and Glenn McElhenney have picked up multiple winners.
Yeah, Josh and Robbie. Robbie got 4 winners at Penrith. Josh, same team, Kerry Ann's team. He got the 4 winners at Newcastle. We missed the GMAC a couple of weeks ago. He got 3 winners at Maitland. Of course, Luke McCarthy's in there or driving for Craig Cross and others, and he's winning races, has our Toddy. But it was good to see GMAC. I'm not going to say he's in the older brigade, but he's the more experienced driver, and he's driving as well as ever.
Teaching these young bucks a thing or two. Blake Hughes as well. There's not a meeting that goes by up there that he doesn't win 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, isn't he a star on the rise?
Yeah.
He's going to be something, and Clayton Harmey, of course, is supplying all those winners.
He is indeed. Now, some sad news. Anita Barnes has had her house go up in flames.
Yeah, nothing to do with the bushfires. It's just a fire. She lives out there near Londonderry, and it's very disappointing. We will help the industry as we do. The fraternity digs in and we'll help. We've just got to work through a few things and see where she all lands. So anyone that she said to me the other day about phone calls, it's too difficult for her to answer them all. She knows people are reaching out. She appreciates that, but she just needs to settle and take it all in. But yeah, if you can help Anita, please do. We'll be doing something as soon as we can sort things out.
Contact you guys here if you want to help.
Absolutely, yes. Morris Logue's probably the best there. Whilst he's our youth development officer, he's also our every man and woman officer in the fact that where we can help people out in this industry. We've got Colin Watts Jr. He's part of the chaplaincy that we've started with Club Menangle, so we're there to help. Just ask. It's all confidential, of course, and we've got our psychiatrist, our sports psychiatrist, confidential. Just to ask, and we will help.
Excellent news. So, yes, that news on Anita's house. Now, Matt Day, he's improving in Liverpool Hospital.
He's improving greatly. You know, he's communicating, he's talking, he's having a laugh. He's still going to be in hospital for a long time, and we haven't forgotten him either. So we'll be, when things settle there too, we'll be looking out to see what we can do for Matt.
We're so close to Christmas, which means the yearling sale's just around the corner, and Bathurst have got their entries closing very soon. Yeah,
December 1, so Bathurst is always a good sale. We've got APG, of course, in February, then Bathurst follows on during the carnival. So anyone that's got a yearling there, December 1's the cut-off point, so please don't miss it, because we've got to get those catalogues out. People have got to know what's out there. So yes, Bathurst, it'll be another good one.
And finally, foals.
Yeah, well, we're well in the foaling season, and we've got plenty of foals, as you will see now on screen. So anyone that has a photo of a nice foal they've got, it's their future champions. Their Miracle Mile winner, it's their Inter-Dominion winner, it's our Breeders' Challenge, Alabar Breeders' Challenge winner probably as well. So send them into Alana, and we'll certainly post them where we can.
Bit of mixed news for people in harness racing this week. We've just touched on John. Hopefully a good news week coming up in the next week as well, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, every week's a bit like that, Mark, but in harness racing we're resilient, we're a good team together, and whilst ever we work together we'll keep the industry going.
Get racing.